Hey traders, this is Ben and Steve Kowitzel from thetradersplan.com, and today we've got something new, a short and sweet market update for the busy trader. This is January 11th, 2022. Steve's going to give you the current market temperature and a few actionable trades. And like I said, we're going to try to keep this short and sweet to the point. So, Steve, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to start with, I'm going to get rid of our faces. If my mouse wants to, there we go. There we go. Let's blow it up. So I want to start with the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ is definitely bouncing today. But, it's kind of funny how the market tends to frustrate us all, right? Whether you're trading the overall market or you're trading individual stocks. A lot of times the market likes to frustrate us all, right? And then really whipsaw us out before it makes its big move. Now, I'm not predicting that the NASDAQ we're looking at here is going to make a big move, but let's kind of look at this for a second. I'm going to make the bullish case and I'm going to make the bearish case. The bullish case is we got 1, 2, 3 legs down, and then we have support at the long-term moving average. Okay, and now it's kind of bouncing off that level. So the NASDAQ yesterday looked very ugly at the open. It sold off really hard, and then it bullishly reversed right at the 200-day moving average. It actually hasn't touched that line since April of 2020. So I would say that's pretty significant to bounce off that line. And you can see the above average volume that came in yesterday. And by the way, anytime I have a chart up, it's always best to blow it up on your computer, go full screen for best resolution. So right here, we have the NASDAQ that found support at the 200-day moving average, bullishly reversed off, and is bouncing today. At this point in time, we don't know if the market is going to kind of get out of here or not. But, I tend to think this really looks like just a nice little shakeout. And I don't know, however often you trade, but you trade stocks and sometimes they just pick off your stock, pick off your stop, pick off your stop, and then it makes its big move. Right, that's what stocks can do, and it kind of looks like that's what the NASDAQ is trying to do, given what's happened today and yesterday. It undercut, all this right here, and then bullishly bounced off it. So, as far as buying on a pullback, right, buying dips instead of waiting till the market gets all the way up here at fresh highs, I don't know how you can't put at least a little money to work now. I bought a little bit yesterday. I'm buying a little bit more today, kind of scaling in. And, if the market rolls over or if the NASDAQ breaks this level, I am out, right? So it's kind of a low risk entry right here, with I think a much, much higher reward. So you don't have to go all in or go all out. But, I've been buying the last couple of days, and I think it makes sense to at least stick your toe in the water and put some money to work, regardless of last week wasn't that fun. So that's the bullish case. The bullish case, this is just a nice shakeout that found support at the long-term moving average. Now, kind of the bearish case is that this recent high right here did not hit all-time highs before it rolled over. This reversal bar, which I'm also calling it a shakeout, it undercut the previous lows, right? So it could do something like this. I tend to look at the glass half full more than half empty, regardless of which way this signal is going to go, because the reality is whether the market bounces from here and hits fresh highs or it rolls over, we're in a bull market. We might be in a correction type mode in the NASDAQ, but we are in a long-term bull market. So I'm looking for bullish setups, not bearish setups. If this gets undercut, I will completely change my tone. Okay. But for the time being, I have to look for bullish setups. So I think the overall market is in a decent place right now to put a little bit of money to work, slowly scale in. Now, I have a couple actionable trade ideas that I want to really look at. And let's start with Lucid Group, right? This is a electric vehicle stock. This is a very, very aggressive stock. So if the market doesn't do well, then this is not going to do well either. Let's just be clear about that. But, you can't have a stock that goes from 22 to 57 and not have some pretty aggressive pullbacks. So it did, right? It had a pretty aggressive pullback, but it's clearing some major technical hurdles. right here, you have some resistance kind of around that 41 level. It cleared that on Friday, pulled back yesterday, where it kind of found resistance at this rising 50-day moving average, and then just absolutely punched through. So not only did it kind of clear some of these hurdles right here on last Friday, it has followed through today. So what this is telling me is this is trying to head higher. I think it's going to be dependent on the market if this one can actually get going. But in a reasonable market environment, or if the market rallies for a couple weeks, or even less than that, I think this could get up there pretty darn quick. Now, the inverse is true if the market rolls over. If this goes below 40, I would say forget about it. Get out of the way. There's nothing good that's going to happen under 40. But right now, this is looking pretty good, pretty actionable. Might have to have a little bit of wide of stop. But given all the volatility, just like anything, you always want to use a stop loss, and you always want to trade position sizes that you're comfortable with, not if the trade doesn't go in your favor, right? We all know we're all happy no matter how big we trade if we're winners, but that's not what you need to build a position sizing strategy on. So I think Lucid right now looks pretty good, and it's clearing the technical hurdles that I'm looking for. Another one I like to talk about is Marvel Technology. This one is, bouncing nicely, and this one actually held the 50-day moving average. So when the market opened below the 200-day moving average, or at least the NASDAQ did, growth stocks, this one actually never even broke its 50-day moving average, and that's pretty bullish. So you have right here an earnings gap, a major earnings gap, and then a consolidation, right? The market was choppy, or at least growth stocks were in December. So it was kind of in a sideways consolidation. It bullishly reversed off the 50-day moving average, and is bouncing in above average volume today. Okay, so you can see that above average right there. So I think this is a trade that looks good, with kind of a stop under Monday's low. And I think I think that's a good lesson. When the market is coming under pressure, it is unreasonable to expect, your favorite stocks to just completely hold up. But what I usually look at is like, what is holding up the best? If the market's cracking the 50-day moving average, what stocks are holding the 50-day moving average? Because usually those are your biggest winners on the next go around, or, give you a nice upside. So whether it's Marvel or Lucid or, another stock that's on your watch list, I think that if the stocks start to break below their Monday lows, I would just absolutely get out of them, because there's something wrong with the stock or the market, and there's no reason. But, slowly starting with small positions, slowly sticking your toe in the water, I think that's a good strategy, and I think that's a good place to be. So we looked at the overall market. I'm, looking at the glass half full, looking at bullish. We looked at a couple stock ideas. So Ben, what else you got for us?
Man, I think that's about it, Steve. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I wanted to give a few trade ideas, and believe it or not, you kept that right around 8 minutes. So good job on that.
Yep.
Let's see. I didn't put on this slide. We actually have Greg and I are doing the credit spread options class tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Anybody who's on this email list or subscribe to this channel will get the link sent to them at 7 a.m. in the morning. Also, I've got a link on here. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. The channel is growing, but it is still pretty new. So we've got this link on here for the weekly income system training. I've had a few people requesting this. This is a recorded training, but we've had thousands of people go through the weekly income system. It is still our flagship training, and probably will be. So there's a link. I'll put that in the comments. And I guess that's all I've got, man. Got it under 10 minutes. Short and sweet, actionable items. Thanks for watching, and I guess everybody have a great day. Thank you, Steve.
Say